Hello students, today I am going to do some numericals based on the chapter 4, which is motion in straight line in your book. This is the chapter motion in straight line, kinematics. We will do some numericals of kinematics chapter. It's clear? Now see here, in the previous lecture also I have told you some questions over the calculus, in which there was the use of calculus as well as some graph methods. Some questions which were on the graph method. It's clear? Now here there is one question you can see. A boy reached a railway station 4 kilometers away from his house, running with a uniform speed in 1 hour. He took rest for 0.5 hour at the station and then come back to his house walking with a uniform speed in 1.5 hour. It's clear? Means for the first 1 hour he is travelling with a uniform speed. Then for 0.5 hour taking rest, means the velocity is 0. Here velocity is constant, and then once again with a constant velocity for 1.5 hour, returning to the same point, means from where he has started. Represent the whole journey on the time displacement graph and you have to determine the average velocity. It's clear? Means you have to draw the displacement time graph. It's clear? Displacement time graph, as you know that in the displacement time graph, displacement is taken along y-axis and time is always along the x-axis. It's clear? Here I am making this. Time is along x-axis. It's clear? Here I am trying this. This is O, this is Y, this is X. It's clear? Here you will take displacement. DISP means displacement. Here in kilometer we will take. What is the distance of the railway station from his house? That is 4 kilometers. It's clear? So in the first 1 hour, from his house running with a uniform speed of 1 hour. So in first 1 hour he covers 4 kilometers. In 1 hour he reaches from house to the station, whose distance is 4 kilometers. Means in 1 hour he covers 4 kilometers. Then he remain rest for 0.5 hour. And then in next 1.5 hour what happens? Once again he returns from station to the house, means covering the same distance. It is clear? So see here you make this is 0.5, this is 1. Here in this side time in hour. One 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. Here this, and here you can take distance in kilometers. So I have taken this way. This is 2, 4. This is 1. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So see here, for 1 hour moving with uniform speed and reaching from home to the station, house to the station, means covering how much distance? 4 kilometers. So see here, what will be the Since moving with the uniform speed, so then what will be the shape of displacement time graph? It will be this type of line or it will be a slanting line. So you know that when body traveling with a constant velocity, displacement time graph will be a slanting line. It's clear? It will not be a horizontal line. It will not be a horizontal line. This type of line will not be. Why? Because here there is no change in displacement. Velocity will be 0 for this black graph. For red type of graph it will be. Now here velocity will be come out because the slope of displacement time graph gives the velocity. Slope of displacement time graph gives the velocity. So here slope will be positive. Slope is positive means velocity will be positive because it is sloping up. So velocity will also be positive. Velocity will also be positive means moving away from origin. And origin means initial point. Here initial point is house. So for 1 hour this graph will be straight line sloping upward. But when it returns, then it is returning towards the house, that is returning towards the origin. So velocity will be negative but constant. Here it is given, it is constant, and it will be negative because returning towards origin. So it will be slanting down, straight line sloping downward. It's clear? So you draw the graph for first 1 hour. What will be the graph of first 1 hour? So you can see here 1 hour के बाद वो 4 किलोमीटर पर पहुंच जाता है. सो ग्राफ विल बी दिस. Then for 0.5 hour it remain at rest, means it will be this. From 1 to 1.5 hour remain at rest. Then in the next 1.5 hour he returns with the constant speed. So once again the graph will be straight line, but now it is sloping down because returning towards the origin. So what is next 1.5 hour? So it is from 1.5 to 3, means here this will be the displacement time graph. Here this will be the displacement time graph. It is clear? Now you have to find the average speed. What is the formula of average speed? So as you know that average speed equals to total distance upon total time. What is the total time? You can see here from the graph, total time is 3 hours. Total time is 3 hours. Now what is the total distance? So see here, what will be total distance? 4 kilometer in going, 4 kilometer in returning. So total distance will be 4 plus 4, that is equals to 8 kilometer. So what will be the average speed? Average speed will be equal to 8 upon 3 kilometer per hour. It's clear? So this you can write 2 whole 2 upon 3 kilometer per hour. It's clear? So this is this question. It is clear? So here you can see the question number 1. Those who want to take the screenshot of this question, they can take. It's clear? If you want to take the screenshot of the question, you take it. I hope that you have taken the screenshot for the question. Now I am taking the other question. So see here, one more question I am going to take here. Already I have written here. It's clear? You can see question number 2. And here questions of this exercise are very, very important. So you do all the questions. It is clear. Not only few, you do all the questions. It is clear. When you will solve more and more numerical problems, your concept will become more and more clear. It will become more and more strong. It is clear. This is the basic of the physics, basics of the physics. If you do each and everything, including numericals, very short answer type questions, short answer type questions, it will take, certainly it will take some time. It will not be in 1 or 2 days. But if you do each and everything of the chapter, your concept will become very, very strong. That's clear. And then you can solve any question. One more thing which I want to suggest you, don't consult too many books. That will make you, put you in inconvenience. You will not be able to understand. This Newton physics which is prescribed in the school, it is a very simple book, and by using this book you can learn the physics very effectively. It's clear. So there is no need to consult any other book except H.C. Verma. Except H.C. Verma. In the numericals of H.C. Verma are very, very good numericals are there. So those who want to solve, those who want to go want to give the competitive exams of the engineering, they can solve the H.C. Verma book. But first you have to solve the Newton physics, each and every problem of your exercise. If you have solved that thing, then it means 90% you have achieved. 90% you have achieved. So first you have to solve this. ये ऐसा ना हो कि तुम अपनी बुक छोड़ दो, किसी कोई दूसरी बुक लगाते रहो. Then what will happen? When there will be the condition of hodgepodge, you will not be able to grasp the concept of the physics. Concepts of physics will become more and more stronger when you put some more time, some more effort on the initial topics. कहते हैं ना कि फाउंडेशन अगर स्ट्रांग है तो फिर क्या है, आगे कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Then you can do everything. So these the beginning topics, initial topics, you put more effort, more time. It's clear. It will take time, but you take out the time, and nowadays you are in a very beneficial position. All the time you have to be in house, so you can do, you have the enough time, so you do this. This is my advice, so you certainly follow it. Now see here, question number 2 I am going to do here. An object moves from A to B with a speed 40 meter per second and returns from B to A with a speed 60 meter per second. Calculate average speed and average velocity. You take the screenshot. Going from A to B with a speed of 40 meter per second and returning from B to A with a speed of 60 meter per second. You have to calculate average speed and average velocity. It's clear. So now you can see here, it is moving from A to B. And then returning from B to A. During going, what is the speed? During going, speed is 40 meter per second. And during returning, speed is 60 meter per second. It is clear. So average speed, already I have told the formula, total distance upon total time. So first you assume that the distance between, let distance between A and B equals to D. So total distance traveled, total distance D distance in going, D distance in returning, it will be 2 into D. What will be the net displacement? What will be net displacement? Started from A and then ending the journey at the A. Starting from A and ending the journey at the A means initial and final point is same, so net displacement will be 0. Now what will be the total time? Total time taken. So what will be the total time taken? Time taken in going plus time taken in returning. What is the total time taken in going? What is the speed? Speed is 40 meter per second. Distance is d. So time taken in going, that is d upon 40. Time taken in returning, d upon 60. What is LCM? LCM will be equal to 120. So 40 you divide, that is 3d. 60, that is 2d, equals to 5d upon 120. This second. It's clear? So you find out the average speed. So as we know that, what is average speed? Already I have written the formula, so now I am not writing. Average speed, total distance, that is 2d upon total time taken, that is 5d upon 120. So it is equals to 2d into 120. 5d. D and D cancel. So 5 1 ja and here 24. So it is equals to 48 meter per second. But when you will determine the average velocity, so in average velocity, what will you do? Average velocity means net displacement. Upon time. Net displacement upon time. What is the net displacement? Net displacement is 0, time is t, so it will be equal to 0. Average velocity will become 0. It's clear? So this is the question number 2. Now see here. You can see the question number 3. You can take the screenshot, those who want to take. It is clear. A body starting from rest moves with an acceleration of 5 meter per second square. After 4 seconds from starting, the force accelerating the body is removed. When you will remove the force, it will not accelerate. It's clear. Suppose after 4 seconds it has achieved the velocity of 20 meter per second. After 4 seconds it has achieved the velocity of 20 meter per second. Now you have removed the force. What will happen? It will keep on moving with the 20 meter per second. It's clear? It will keep on moving with 20 meter per second provided no opposing force is acting. So the force accelerating the body is removed and there is no opposing force, so it will keep on moving with the same velocity which it has at the 4th second. Draw the time velocity graph for the first 8 seconds of the motion of the body. From the graph, determine the distance traveled. You have to draw the time velocity graph. So you take the screenshot, those who want to take. Yes. So for the first 4 seconds, you have to draw the time velocity graph for how much time? For 8 seconds. For first 4 seconds, there is accelerated motion. And for the next 4 seconds, you can divide this 8 into 4 plus 4. For this 4 seconds, motion is accelerated. For this 4 seconds, motion is without acceleration, uniform motion. So you have to draw the velocity time graph. So I am trying here. You can see here this is O y velocity, and here it is time. It is clear. Now here time is given in seconds and total time is 8 seconds. This is 1, 2, 3, here time in second, velocity in meter per second. This. Now see here in the question it is given that accelerating from rest, that is u equals to 0. What is v here? Not known. A is given 4 meter per second square. It's clear. And this acts for 4 seconds. So see here, first we will write as force is withdrawn after 4 seconds. Force is withdrawn after 4 seconds. Therefore, here body will accelerate only for 4 seconds. After that, moves with uniform velocity. It's clear. We will find out the velocity after 4 seconds. Velocity after 4 seconds, that is v equals to u plus at. What is u here? U is 0, a is 4 and time is 4. That is equals to 16 meter per second. It is after 4 second velocity becomes 16 and thereafter it remains constant. It's clear. From 4 second to 8 second, velocity remains 16 meter per second. But from 0 to 4 it increases. Here we have taken this as 16 meter per second. From 0 to 4 it increases to 16. Now see here, since it is having constant acceleration, therefore velocity time graph will be a straight line inclined to the time axis. As after this we will write here, I am writing on the next page. It's clear. Yes. Let me adjust the page. Now see here, as for first 4 seconds, velocity is constant. Velocity is constant. therefore not acceleration is constant, acceleration is constant, therefore velocity time graph will be a slanting straight line, slanting straight line, it will be a slanting straight line. It is clear, like this. And after that what will happen? It will become straight. Up to 8 seconds you have to draw the graph, so up to 8 seconds it will be this. When you draw the graph it will be this. It is clear. So you have to draw the graph for the first 8 seconds that I have drawn. From the graph determine the distance traveled. So distance traveled, how will you determine? By calculating the area enclosed by velocity time curve and time axis. By calculating the area enclosed with velocity time curve and time axis, means this area. By calculating this area we can determine the displacement. So see here, therefore displacement in first 8 seconds equals to area under curve, area under curve. So what will be the area here? Here you can either split into triangle and rectangle. Here I am splitting for simplicity, I am splitting in triangle. This is the rectangle part, you can name it. This is at 4. It's clear. O, A, B and this is DC. Area of triangle OBA plus area of rectangle ADCB. ADCB. You calculate this area. 1/2 base is along x-axis, so its length you will read along x-axis. So it will be equal to what? It will be equal to from 0 to 4. Height is parallel to y-axis, therefore its length you will read on the y-axis. A corresponds to 16, B corresponds to 0 on y-axis. B y-axis में 0 के सामने है, so this thing is 16. So it is 1/2 4 into 16 plus what is the area of this rectangle? This into this. So this already you have found 16. What will be this? 8 minus 4, that is equals to 4. So 32 plus 64, that is equals to 696 meter. So this way you have calculated the displacement. It is clear. I think it will be understood. You have understood to this. It is clear. Now see here, I can take some more problems also. You can see. Now I am taking the problems from your book. Now see here. Now I am taking some simple questions. Now see here, I am going to do question number 19 in your book. Page 141. A balloon going upward with a velocity of 12 meter per second is at a height of 65 meter from the earth at any instant. This is the earth. And balloon is at a height of 65 meter. Here this I have made the balloon. What is its height? At any instant it is 65 meter. Going upward with the velocity, what is the velocity here? 12 meter per second. It is going upward with this velocity. Is at a height of 65 meter from the earth at any instant. Exactly at this instant means when it is at a height of 65 meter. From a packet drops from it, means the packet comes out. It is clear? Packet comes out. So how much time will the packet take in reaching the earth? You have to find this. And here g is given how much? 10 meter per second square. So you can see here, the packet comes out from the balloon is going upward. As long as packet is inside the balloon, its velocity will be 12 meter per second. But when it will come out, its velocity will be taken minus 12 meter per second downward. It is clear? As long as balloon is inside, not packet is, not balloon, here packet is inside balloon. Packet is inside balloon. Its velocity is 12 meter per second. But when it comes out, its velocity will be taken minus 12 meter per second. And why? Because now it is moving down. As it is moving down, it moves down. Downward it moves, therefore velocity will be taken minus 12. It is clear? So what is u? U equals to minus 12 meter per second. What is g? G equals to 10 meter per second square. What is h? H equals to 65 meter. And you have to determine the time in which it reached to the ground. So which equation you will use? You have to find t and h is given. So we will use h equals to ut plus half gt square. H equals to, from second equation, from h equals to ut plus half gt square. H equals to half gt square. You substitute the value. H is given 65. U is given minus 12 into t plus 1 upon 2. G is given 10 into t square. On simplifying, what will you get? 65 equals to minus 12t plus 5t square. So what will be 5t square? What will be the equation? 5t square minus 12t minus 65 equals to 0. Now I will factorize it, so that factorization I am not showing completely. 5t square minus 25t. It's clear. this is 13 5 ja and yes plus 13t minus 65 equals to 0. So when you will simplify, it will come out 5t plus 13 and t minus 5 equals to 0. So when you can see here, when t minus 5 equals to 0, t equals to 5 seconds. Means in 5 seconds it will reach to the ground. From here, from the second value, you will get t equals to minus 13 upon 5. That is not possible. Negative value of time is not possible. It's clear. So now in this lecture, only up to here. Now I will do some more numericals in the next lecture. So thank you.